Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Schneider's Sojourn. Today, we're going to go out and explore the forest. I have enough supplies with me, so let's head out. The game audio is now playing through my headset, so I can hear any zombies that try and sneak up on me. The first order of business will be slaying this Enderman. As long as you hit in the legs, they shouldn't teleport. And at nearly the cost of my own life, we took that down with a wooden sword. Could have done a lot better. Alright, so this is about where I'd like the view to be. When all that loads in, it's quite stunning. There are some skeletons nearby, that's fine. You can't have good neighbors everywhere. So if that's my intention, I need to clear out this area of forest before we can lay the foundation down for our home base. To that end, I'm going to collect some logs and get a stone axe going. I am going to show this for now, but if you want me to skip just material gathering in the future, let me know. And then I can just edit it out and only keep the interesting parts, like if I get blown up by a creeper. But it gives me a good opportunity to talk, lay the plans of mice and men and all that. So my first, might as well make a sword too. My first angle on this is an L-shaped house with a bit of a yard. And I'm thinking that'll give some comfort, some storage, a decent view, which is quite important. Even though we're not going to be spending all of our time there. And, of course, I just made a pick instead of an axe. Not that it isn't needed. Okay, don't do it twice in a row, though. Alright, put the spare materials away, so when I inevitably die, I don't lose much. I've already gone through most of my food. Why not equip the stone sword? I'd rather break the wooden one first. Waste not, want not. I could burn the wooden one, admittedly. But what's the fun in that? Alright. Quick creeper check, and now chopping down this majestic tree. I will use the dark oak extensively. I'm a huge fan of it. It's very nice wood. Some regular oak to set it off, and maybe some birch, just for a bit of a counterpoint. But because this is the most abundant resource in the local area, I'll be using it, and cobblestone. If I can gather a substantial amount of logs, then I'll consider making stone bricks, but it's non-essential. Every time there's a rustling in the leaves, I think there's a creeper about to explode. It has the same hissing noise. Good thing I chose the largest interconnected network of trees on the shore. But they all have to go anyway. Also, what was that tree growing out of? There's nothing but sand under it. That's not going to hold a mighty dark oak. I just did it a favor. So, the dark oak forest is fairly dense. I'll probably have to artificially trim the trees around the edge. But these two, and possibly those two, will have to go. It's not going to be a massive house to start, but it'll be a place where I can work and store more than one chest. I don't know if I want to go with wooden windows or glass windows. I do kind of like the look of having a fence, kind of like one of those cartoony windows with the cross through them. But it might block too much of the view. I might also want to just chop some trees down in the general area, so I don't get ambushed every second. If I can get a skeleton without taking too much damage, I'd really like to grow some big mushrooms of my own. I'm slightly worried I'm pushing my luck. There's the cursed pig, who wishes to end my life. Excellent. No new friends. Alright, well we did get a lot of lumber, so I'm going to take some of it. Ah, we have some coal left, perfect. Now, where to quarry stone from is the next question. I could continue to expand that room, but the cost in torches probably outweighs its usefulness, although it is out of the way and won't be an eyesore. Also, in the comments, be sure to leave an indication of kind of what direction we should set out in for our first journey. I'm kind of thinking cut the angle that way, go through the mountains. But, you know, there's the cardinal points. I'm okay with any of them. And if no one has any suggestions, I'll just set off in a direction and see what happens. Need a little bit more of infrastructure before I can make enough supplies to go on such a journey. So I'll probably invest a little bit in farming before then. Every time. Break a leaf, think I'm about to die. It wouldn't be a big deal if I lost 3 levels and had to come pick up my stuff, but the real damage is in the terraforming I'll have to do, because a lot of the blocks will get deleted. I could just dig the foundation around that area, I guess. And there goes the axe. Finish these two off the old-fashioned way with my fists of fury. Alright. Did something go in the water? Oh, it's just a squid. I have to make another axe. These trees do have to go. I don't want to be right on the waterfront. I want to kind of walk out to it. So we'll see how many picks I make before I remember to make an axe. I'll put a counter in the corner if it's more than one. Look at that, right first time. It's like I've done this before. I'm going to keep the regular coal. No particular reason. But I just, for the purpose of stacking, right? I can keep making charcoal here as much as I need. But if I'm out exploring, I can only mine coal. So if I keep the regular coal and carry it with me for supplies, it'll just stack better. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Until I find myself some armor, I'm going to be a little cautious. But hopefully that won't be too long. I could excavate behind the waterfall and grab some novel rocks and hopefully some iron. Ideally, I'll come across a cave that we can jump into, and as long as I have enough torches, there shouldn't be too many things that can go wrong in there. The only bad thing about going in a cave is actually coming out. It's easier to descend than it is to ascend. Because when you're looking down, you can see where you're going. When you're going up, there's a much higher chance of something dropping on your head. And those things usually in green camo and hiss at you. Which is a lot worse when you just finished digging out a cave. I'm going to take away all the grass patches, and then once we figure out how big this is going to be, I'll bone meal the grass blocks and grow some more. Something stomping around. Maybe it was the pig. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a shovel. So, since we do have quite a bit of fuel, I think I'll cook some rocks, smooth out the stone, make it into brick, do some of the floor out of brick, and some out of wood. Kind of like how you would tile the kitchen but not the living room. Well, maybe tile the living room too. That's a discussion for you to have with yourself. We do need to get some more stone before that becomes relevant. So for now, we'll just dig straight back through here. Use up this wooden pick. I'm not really skilled enough to do a montage kind of thing where I speed it all up. But I'll practice on that, because I know that it's hard to keep a conversation going. I'm just staring at a blank grey wall with a blank grey pick. And probably speaking in a blank grey tone, who knows. But for the probably stack of stone that I'm going to want, to ensure that there's enough for any construction. There might be a patio too. I don't know if I'll go modern or if I'll go natural. Should probably also raise the roof a bit. I'm sure that's annoying people. There is gravel nearby, so I have to be a little bit careful. But no one really likes a 2-block high room. I'll try to keep that in mind when I'm building. I personally don't care if the ceiling touches my character's head, because I'm not hopping through my base like little bunny Fufu, hopping through the mountain. Or is it the forest? It's been a long time since anyone has talked to a little bunny Fufu. But I understand that it's more aesthetically pleasing for there to be a little bit of frame above the door. And we can throw this stack of stones in to cook. And just for construction purposes, I'll grab a little bit more. And then I'll build that shovel while the cobble's cooking. Maybe this will evolve into a wine cellar of sorts. That would be an idea. When we journey and we pick up mementos, the mementos get incorporated into the main house, and it just keeps expanding with stuff we bring back. That might be an interesting idea moving forward. Then the house itself will be a collage of the entire adventure. How are we doing for time of day? I like the pseudo-Asian birchwood door, but it leaves a little to be desired for seeing outside. Shadows are getting a little bit deep. Hard to tell. Well, I guess they were. So, if you walk halfway through the door and then close it, it'll clip into you, then you can walk to whichever side you want. I'm not doing a good job showcasing that. Okay, so if this is the center point, then start here maybe. I kind of like how the beach dips up there all by itself. One, 2, 3, 4, 7 maybe? And then 5 this way. And then 7 this way. Okay, so that would be our waterfront. And then 5 down here. So that would give me I want to go 7 down. So if that's the actual wall, then it's a double chest, a space, a double chest, and a wall. So 7 across. Right, that's 7. 5, 6, 7. Chop this back by 1. And then we just connect the dots. and up this way. I don't want to overshoot it, so I just have to fill in again. I'll have to chop this little dirt wall back. It was weird. Once again, I've got the headset to work and now I'm hearing all the game sounds directly in my ear. And I'm not necessarily used to how everything sounds up that close. I'm totally gonna get ambushed and killed by something that's actually dangerous because I'll think it's just one of these other noises I'm not used to. But that should be the basic layout. I don't know if it's going to be multi-floored. It will be eventually if we follow through with the idea about expanding it as we journey. That should be plenty of space for now. So the workshop area will be on this side, and the living space will be on this side. Probably get 3 rooms out of that. Should be enough stone done to outline the foundation. And even though you won't be able to see it because it's underneath the wall, I'll still know it's there. And more importantly, if I dig a basement, I can use that as a guide. Not as much stone as I'd hoped, huh? I'll take what I can get. Need about a stack and a quarter, by the looks of it. Although I did dig a few extra blocks. That's not totally accurate. For fencing, might use some stone walls. Might use some wood. Not entirely sure yet. I also have to double check that all of these things are in vanilla because I do play a lot of modded. And I might put some modded on YouTube. I do it mostly in a multiplayer setting, so I'm more or less waiting for the people I play with to offer their opinion on being part of a YouTube series and perhaps recording their own perspective. It's a lot more interesting when you have more than one viewpoint. Naturally, this tree has to go. I just don't want to chop it down right now because when I do, I'm going to have to take down 3 or 4 trees to make sure that leaves get taken out. In the meantime, since it's not too late in the day, I'll dig this out. What's the white stones? Diorite? There is some over there, and you can craft it into a smooth block. I think that'll make a nice tile floor. It's a little bit gritty looking, but it's smooth, so it should have a nice effect. And it'll probably look good beside wood. The most dangerous part will be moving the bed, because if I get ambushed between the hiding cave in here, which hasn't happened yet, then I have to start all the way back at world spawn. So, the chances of coming back here a 3rd time are a little bit better than coming back here a 2nd time, and I could just watch my own video to find the way if I really wanted to. But I'd rather avoid that whole can of worms. Yeah, it should only take probably one more episode to build the basic house. It's probably getting close to the end now. I only want to do 20 minutes segments, remember. So, I'm likely approaching that now. Maybe even exceed it slightly. I should set a timer. And for next episode, I will remember to set a timer. I actually brought my phone with me, but forgot to push the button. So once again, I'm flying off the seat of my pants. In all likelihood, it'll end up a bit short, like the last episode was slightly less than 20 minutes. And that's fine, it was 19 and some. As long as it's approximately 20 minutes, it serves its purpose. A brief interlude of entertainment before you move on to greater things. And if it doesn't even achieve that, then I've simply failed my duty. So, we have a little bit of oak. We have a whole lot of dark oak. I'm going to go ahead and just make a lot of planks. Try to keep an eye on the sky too. I don't want to overdo it with the planks. So if I cut across like that, and instead of having a square divide room, I could do it on an angle. I have to be a little bit interesting. So just close that angle off for now. We'll start doing the tile over here, because you want to have tile in the workshop. It's easier to clean. You want to have planks in the house, easier on your feet. It's getting a little bit late in the day, I think. And after I sleep, I'll probably end the episode. If you want me to work on this off camera, let me know. And if you want to watch me build it, because that's kind of the bread and butter of a Minecraft series, is building, by all means let me know. And I think that will do for now. Hopefully I didn't cut the episode too short. And this has been Schneider's Sojourn, Darker Schneider, playing Minecraft. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, it really helps. And until next time, bye bye.